Hi, this is Brad Linder with Liliputing, and this is an Android 4.0 Mini PC. It's a $74 PC on a stick that runs Google Android and has an Allwinner A10 processor and could theoretically be able to run other operating systems as well. Inside the box, you've got a little bit of a user manual with very small text. The device itself, which is really quite small and light. I would say it's probably around 2 ounces or so. We've got a HDMI port here. It's a mini or micro HDMI actually. A micro USB, full-size USB, and an SD card slot. There's also what I believe is a power jack on this side. And that's pretty much it. Also in the case, we've got an HDMI adapter, which I was a little bit worried might not actually come with the device, but it does seem to, which is nice. Power adapter. Micro USB to full-size USB adapter, so you can plug this into the side and actually have 2 full-sized USB ports. You can also power the device through the USB if you don't want to use the power adapter. And then finally we've got a USB cable, so we can do plug that in there and then plug it into a computer or a wall socket or something like that. So that's a quick look at what comes inside the box. Next we'll have more information on how it works. Hi, this is Brad Linder, and here we've got the Android 4.0 Mini PC plugged in. You can see that I've got an HDMI cable plugged into one end, and the other end goes to my PC. And I was going to show you the boot up process, but it started before I could even stop to think about what was happening. Seeing it was powered on through the power jack, and the HDMI was plugged in, it started to boot Android. There's also a USB cable plugged in here, and that goes to an adapter that I normally use for my wireless keyboard and mouse for my computer, but in this case it is plugged right in here. There doesn't appear to be any sort of audio out, so since I'm plugging this in to a PC monitor, and that monitor doesn't have built-in speakers, we're probably not going to hear any audio from the HDMI output, but if you plug it into a TV it should work. And while this thing is labeled as a mini PC, it can also be used in some ways as a sort of Google Android TV box. Automatically recognize the keyboard and mouse, or at least the mouse. Let's see what happens when we try to load something where I can use the keyboard. Yep, keyboard is working, no problem. We don't actually have a wireless connection at the moment, so let's see if we can do something about that. It's connecting to Wi-Fi. And while it does that, let's go ahead and see what we can find out. So it's running Android 4.0.3 using an Ubuntu kernel. Looks like we are online. And the web browser works. We've got tap to zoom. Now, of course, there's no multi-touch because there's no touch here. But it works reasonably well. It's not the fastest web browser I've ever seen, but it does work. There's also on-screen buttons for volume. Again, we can do volume up, volume down. We're not getting any volume here because I'm not plugged into a monitor with built-in speakers, but theoretically that would work. There's a file manager, video player, which is marked Super HD Player because it can handle 2160p videos apparently. And it comes with Angry Birds Space, Documents to Go, looks like, and the Android Market, which is not something I was expecting to see here. So I'll go ahead and add an account later so I can download some applications. I'm not sure that this is officially a Google certified device, but it does appear to come with Android Market out of the box, which is nice. Also Adobe Flash Player, a Wi-Fi connection manager, and some basic Google applications, including Google Maps, it looks like. Yes, Google Calendar, and the official Gmail application. Also Skype comes preloaded. Back into settings. There's no actual battery, but there's a battery setting area here. Storage shows us that there's a gig of free space on internal storage, and then a second internal storage, which basically acts like an SD card with 2 gigs of space. Overall, the device, I think, has 4 gigabytes built in, but you can add a SD card if you want extra space. So, anyways, there's a quick look. Overall, it seems pretty responsive for a basic Android PC. I'll be curious to see if you can install Linux and other operating systems on it as well, and I'll be playing around with it more soon. But for an out-of-the-box experience, it works pretty much exactly the way you would expect it to. You plug it in, it turns on, and you can surf the web, connect to the internet, play games, watch videos, and do other things. And I'll have more videos showing how it does some of those things soon. So far, I'm pretty impressed with this little $74 PC that I picked up from China. It takes a long time to ship if you get the free shipping option. Comes from a number of different companies, and a couple of different brand names, but overall they're all very similar devices with Allwinner A10 processors, 512 megs to 1 gigabyte of RAM, 4 gigabytes to 8 gigabytes of storage, and so forth. And they all sell for under $100. Around $70 usually seems to be the average price. Again, Brad Linder with Liliputing, and a first look at the Android 4.0 Mini PC. And again, this is the first time I've turned it on, so I just wanted to give you some initial impressions, but we will have some more details about this little cheap computer soon at liliputing.com.